All right, y'all. So this just then, I got some crazy news. I'm surprised, I'm shocked, but at the same time, um, I have a small little percentage of understanding here because of a personal matter. Now, I just posted a video talking about life-saving dick picture. All right. Now, that was a story of its own. It was a personal story about me and my wife, my ex-wife, not just me and a random girl. And if anybody knows the story, they know that I did not even want to be with my now ex-wife. I did not want to be with her. You know, Whatever the case, that was his own story. Now, what I'm dealing with now is America. Okay, so I'm in California. My life is in danger, not because of something I did that was wrong. My life is in danger because women, the demand or the command of Asian women, specifically Japanese, uh, want dick. They want black dick or brown dick, brown men's dick. All right, so it's a thing now. Now, I've been clued in little bits, a little bit here and there, but I really didn't feel anything because it's not my case, it's not my situation. I'm all about marriage, so I wasn't feeling anything until now. Now I have thread worms, I believe, in my neck, and that is a threat from these Japanese Asian women that if I don't give them some sex, especially Filipino women, if I don't give them some sex, or if I don't give them some dick, physical dick, they're gonna try to kill me. That's a little bit still hard to believe, but it's the truth of the matter. Um, it's just crazy, man. Hard to believe, but the truth of the matter. Mm, this is hard. This is a hard topic, man. All I can say is please don't do that to me, man. I'm all about marriage. Yes, the Filipinos owe me a wife because they offered me a wife. They offered me a woman to marry, and I married her, and I love her. And I loved her all the way to the end. They just took her from me. And you don't do that. A man is not supposed to have power to take your wife from you. So, yeah, I'm bitter as shit about that, my own personal situation. So that would be that small little percentage where, you know, I have a little struggle with this topic. Now I can't say the reason why these Asian women are running the Hebrew men or brown men and making hiring them and things like that for sex and stuff like that is because of the similar situation like mine. I can't put everybody in the same category as my category. So I can't speak for everyone, but it's just something that's happening for one reason or another. It could just strictly be because their husband's penis is, I guess, not pleasing to them anymore, and you in a place where you can get something more pleasurable, and that's a very painful thing. A very, very painful thing. You know, and I'm sad about that situation. Um, Now you have Mazali. She's from Baltimore. She's from Baltimore like me. She's with a Korean man. So I'm thinking that she probably got double dutched into the same situation, and she's with a Korean man while the Korean women and the Asian women are with her well endowed Hebrew brown men. And so that can kind of make you bitter. It can kind of make you upset. And they ended up buying a house in Uganda, you know. And I believe that what's going on with Maza and her husband Joe, it could be a bitterness situation. Give me a minute. It could be a bitterness situation. Um, where maybe he was, well, he's from Baltimore too. Well, he was living in Baltimore too. So they met each other in Baltimore, but maybe, I don't know. They a YouTube content creators and stuff like that. They have a big family, you know. Uh they have like 2 sons and like a lot of daughters. And she got her own daughter. So they have a very big family, Mazelee. Mazelee on YouTube. They have a big family. Um so I don't know that situation, like what made them come together, why they got married and things like that. All I know is that they're in Uganda now, or they bought a house in Uganda, so I guess they're gonna continue their content creation in Uganda. So I'm not sure. But what's happening here in the California area or in America is that the Asian women are like running away from their men because of, I guess, dick. Um, could be many other things that the factor in, but I would say that would be the main thing. And I guess they're willing to pay men for sex and stuff like that because of the, you know, the privy situation. Now, I'm under attack because of that. Now, I'm just chilling, you know? I'm just chilling. I'm in a place where I was sent at. I was in um, Torrance, California, and the Veterans Affairs guy, Veterans of America, he sent me here to Santa Monica. And I also had a job offer here in Santa Monica. So that's why I'm in Santa Monica still. You know, the first job offer I ever got was with Spectrum, and they wanted me to work in Santa Monica. Now, now I'm kind of understanding what's going on. You know, I guess women, Asian women, would hire me for sex or something like that. I'm such an upstanding man. It kind of can make them angry that I'm an upstanding man. Maybe. Man, that's hard for me, man. That's very hard for me. I can't just do that. I can't just take a man's woman or something like that. I can't just do that. Take another man's woman, or she's married to a man, and just like, I can't do that. It's hard for me because I look at Japanese men as brothers. You know, they don't, you know, especially the ones that don't mean no harm. They just chilling, you know, living life. I can't see them like that, regardless of whatever's going on down there with them. I can't see that, you know, or see me doing that, hurting somebody. I know how it feel to be hurt before I got the Filipina as my wife. You know, our own Hebrew women, we don't have power over and control over. Now, in the sense that, you know, the Filipino people owe me a wife, I can see myself, you know, the Filipinas in California feeling like that, you know, coming towards me like, you know, demanding. But it would be the you know, the my wife was a mix. Like I said, she was a mixed breed. She was Filipina and Japanese. So, and also Chinese because her mother was Chinese. So she was mixed bred. So, man, that's hard for me. That's why I got, so that's what I found out. The MO behind this whole worm thing going on in my neck is that, you know, the Asian people are angry that black men or Hebrew men are having sex with their women, and, you know, and it's hard for them to, you know, go back. Once you, that's what they say, once you go black, you never go back. Once you go black, You never go back. Um, yeah, that is a real statement. You know, if you have, like for example, I'm gonna use myself. So you have a woman, right? I'm 5'7", 5'8", right? And then you have a woman that's the same height as me. My dick is like about, you know, 7.5, 8. It's a 7.5, 8. Okay, if we depending on the position, it's gonna be 7.5, 8. All right, and it's just 7.5 because of the ruler is like not even at 7; it's past 7. So 7.5, 8. All right. Um. So that's me. Now let's say that's not big enough for a woman my height or whatever the case, or a woman with a big butt or whatever the case. A tall woman is not big enough. She needs somebody that's like 10 inches or 10 inches or more, something like that, right? So that's what she want. A tall man that's got a dick size of 10 inches or more. So to her, my dick isn't big enough. It's like small. So it wouldn't please her. So she wouldn't talk to me or whatever the case. Or if she was with me, she would want to leave me because I can't please her anymore in the bed or something like that. And it would hurt me to the core, right? So me being in that position already of women leaving me, I can't do that to another man and try to, have his women leaving him, but the Philippines do owe me a wife. So if you're going to try to do this to me, it would be best to give me someone I can marry. And I got the picture here, Poe, you know, um, you could put a play on that, because I was thinking also like Poe, you have Pow, prisoner of war. Poe, prisoner of everyone. Then I would say Poa, Poaw, prisoner of another's war. So we are just born, we're just here, but we're trapped up and people are like feeling emotions and things about us because of things that they decided to do of their own. A lot of times too, you have women that are geisha girls and things like that, or prostitutes or whatever, that are Japanese women. They get with a brown man and a child comes forth out of that situation. It just so happens that that brown man was well endowed and that woman, it becomes like a worship thing in a way, where what's happening now, the Japanese or the Asian women in California have grown accustomed to worshiping brown men. Like, it's an aggression thing, man. Everybody doesn't have the same ability to tame themselves. So it's like once a woman get a taste of a big dick, you know, she is fucked up, and when she see a brown man, she's ready to fuck him up, whip his ass, beat him down, like literally ready to destroy him if he don't pull his dick out and put it inside of her, you know? Um, it's that bad now. The world is deprived. It's deprived of love. So when you don't have love and things like that, you resort into food. You just want to eat a lot. Because it's a way of like contenting you from all of the pain and loneliness and things like that, or lovelessness. So some women I can understand being alone, but some women that are in relationships and stuff, it could be hard, man. Cause I be seeing that, you know, so the husband's thing is so small or whatever the case, it doesn't please her. So she has to find a way to please herself and shit like that. So she ended up with a brown man that she can buy, and he's like her sex servant. And so she pays him for sex services, or they pay him for sex services, and that's the case. That's a very hard case, man. That's a hard case. Damn. Now, that's such a sensitive topic that, oh, that's a sensitive situational position to be in, that I would rather wait for the Most High Father to give me a decree from heaven about that matter, because it's still adultery and things like that, and we don't want to cross those lines, But according to the situation that's happening today, right now, I will wait for the Most High Father to send down a decree from heaven, because it could be that her husband and the man that she hired for sex are both not serving the Most High. So it's not a concern of his. You're doing whatever you want to do. So it's probably would have nothing to say about it. The only thing I'm asking for is like a wife, man. I'm asking for a wife. Like I said to people that I wanted to meet Poe. I wanted to meet Poe or whatever. Or KT. I think it's her name, KT. She danced. But Poe was like, when I went to Japan, to Tokyo, I wanted to find a way like where I can connect with her or reach out to her or whatever the case, because she sing and I rap. So I wanted to kind of combine together and make music together with her, and by chance, we could be in a relationship. But another thing too is that I'm noticing that a lot of the Asian men are very possessive over our brown women. They are mixed bred or whatever, but they're in Japan. Like one of the sisters are in Japan. She's from Baltimore, Maryland, and she's in Japan. So it's that sense of ownership. Like I couldn't go to Japan and meet her and chop it up with her. They would try to own her. So they would like refrain me from talking to her or being around her. Whereas if she was in Baltimore, I could just meet her in Baltimore and chop it up with her in Baltimore if she came to visit. But they would not like that type of thing. So I'm noticing the possessiveness. Now to balance this thing out some kind of way, the rule of servanthood. If you buy a woman, okay, you're buying a woman for whatever reason, just as a servant, you must marry her, or otherwise why buy her? If you buy her for sex services or for prostitute services, it's a lose-lose doing that. It's a lose-lose doing that. You're not supposed to do that, because then she's not going to stay faithful and things like that, and da-da-da-da-da. You're going to have a lot of issues keeping people in control, and da-da-da. It can get crazy. But if you buy a servant, you marry her. A woman servant, you buy her, you marry her, or whatever the case. It will give her to someone in marriage. You just don't have her out there loose to be having sex with whoever and whoever and whoever, because then she's gonna grow bitter and then try to find someone that is gonna get crazy. The same thing with like someone that's not homeborn, like the same way with someone that's homeborn, like Poe. She was homeborn, or as they say, she was born in Japan and she stayed in Japan, but she's still Blasian or whatever. Same situation with her. You would like want to own her, but you're not letting her get married. It's pointless for a man to try to rule over a woman and not allow her to be married. You just want control over her. It's pointless to do that. You're supposed to be married in life. So it's pointless to try to hold a woman and keep them single and things like that. You're not allowed to do that. So what's happening is we're seeing this, right? Like I could see a woman like Poe in Japan, and she could, she survived the best way she know how, right? Prostitute or whatever the hell, she's surviving. Or I could see one of my sisters from Baltimore, Maryland, she's in Japan and y'all prostituting her and shit like that. And that's how she's surviving and getting through and eating and stuff like that by, being prostituted. So, and then the same thing with Mazali. The Korean women are so fucking angry. There's no respect for my wishes anymore of like wanting to not engage in this matter. Like, man, that's not concerning me. But I can't stay out of the matter because Mazali, she's from Baltimore, Maryland. There's another sister, she's from Baltimore, Maryland. She's in Japan. So that's two Japanese men are using my Baltimore girl, one of my Baltimore girls, and then Korean man is with one of my Baltimore sisters too, and had got a big huge family. So that's Korea and Japan. And you're not thinking that the women feel emotions. You got this big ass family, yo. and she's like, oh my God, it's just crazy. And then when the Korean women see them together like that, it's like it burns them alive. It burns them alive. And then they'll see somebody like me. Oh, you from Baltimore? Like, yeah, from Baltimore. I'm single and stuff. It's now that they're attacking me, and now my life is under threat. Like, it's life and death. They're threatening my life. Like, I'm gonna kill you if you don't give me your dick. And it's like no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But because I'm so slow and I'm a pious man, I'm all about marriage, I'm not understanding that's how they feeling. I'm saying in my own mind, I don't have sex and stuff like that. you know so I'm begging them that please calm down. Like, if anything, at least let me do it the right way. Let me be married. And that's what I'm hoping with this video, is that they could calm down enough to appreciate or respect my wishes to want to be married, so that if you're going to do that to me, since that's the case, you're going to do that to me, let me be married. you know the Filipinas are already like that. You got Filipina P over here. She's like, it's all about that energy, but it's more like the Koreans, the Filipinas, and the Japanese women that have. It's crazy, yo. Oh my gosh, this is hard. But I put Poe up here, man, because this is someone that I desire to be with. You know, I really like her energy. Um, I feel like I have a lot to learn from her when I see her. And I would love to take care of her. Like, I would love to be that man to take care of her. I just feel like she deserves someone like me. So a man that will go out there, grind the last little bit of energy and body I got left, grind myself to take care of her, and have a wife, a beautiful wife. You know, that's what I'm asking for. Now that I see that's a life and my life is in danger, not because of something that I did, but because of something that y'all was doing to each other. And then I'm looking on my Twitter X, I'm being guided to what the issue is. Like, what is the X issue? What is the target issue? What is my X? What's the X means target? What's the target I'm looking for here? What's the burn here? What's the matter? And it was the Asian black thing, like black Asians and stuff. I'm like, okay, black Asians, what that got to do with me? So then I'm just guiding and letting it, death is guiding me. Like, that's what's guiding me, death. Like, this is the matter of death that is concerning you. That while your life is while death is like at your door or whatever the case, and this is the matter. These women want to have sex with you or they're going to kill you. Like, what? Asian women? Like, yeah, Asian women. They're going to kill you if you don't put your dick in one of them and start busting nuts. Straight raw dogging. All that. But they was trying to send you messages, but you're not hearing the messages. So they had to come at me. Death had to come at me directly to let me know this is why your life is in danger. You can't just do that to somebody that's innocent. They even cross lines to try to send this message to me, but it's a burn. It's a big, big burn. And the Asian women are fighting back their own men for like your dick is small as shit, but you want to be taking other men's women. Like, these Hebrew men, these black men or brown men. I'm just saying that's what they saying, because that's what they show. If you look at the videos, it's not my words. That's what they're saying out of their own actions. So I'm just repeating what they're saying. So they're saying, that's what they're saying. Your dick small as shit, and look at his dick. Why would you take his woman? All right. Why would you take a brown woman or a black woman, knowing your dick not big enough and stuff like that, and then have this big ass family? You can't please her or satisfy her. You're torturing her and tormenting her. Like, and it's like you and then the Korean and the Asian women are like, you're my man anyway. That's belongs to me anyway. And so it's like a double bitterness. Like, then they start coming out of the box and actually saying what it is they feel. They actually start saying things like, well, your dick's small anyway, and shit. They actually start saying that shit. And today, that's what I've been noticing, what I've been seeing. The Asian women are actually, some of them are being brave enough to say it. Some of them are still respectful enough to not show that on the camera, I guess, but it's still it eliminates the point. You just see this Asian woman, this small Asian woman, this big brown man. This dick is like about 10 inches and shit like that. She pull it out. You know what I'm saying? She can't, and then her husband and his is like so small. She got to use her 2 fingers and shit like that. And yes, it can be disrespectful, but it's like, what happened to her to make her be disrespectful like that? That's my question. What's happening to the women? What's happening in these relationships here that they would be disrespectful like that? And my personal situation would be, there could be men from other nations to be disrespectful to our men. Like I said, with my situation with my wife, you took my wife from me. You gave her to me. I didn't ask for her. I didn't ask for any kind of woman. I wasn't there to have sex or anything, you know. But you gave me a woman to marry, and then I put all of my love into her, and then you took her from me. So yes, I can, my situation personally I could burn. And I could be disrespectful to be like, fuck it, I'm gonna take any Filipina and have sex with her and shit like that that's in California because they owe me and shit. But I'm not that kind of guy. Everything about me is marriage, holiness, purity, doing the things the pure way. So yes, I'm involved in the midst of the anger and rage of the Asian women. The Asian men have nothing against me, because they hurt me. They took my wife from me, so they owe me. I never did anything to any of them or any of their women. I don't even have sex. So the last woman I was with was my wife. So that says a lot about me, I don't go around having sex with women and with random people and shit like that. I hold myself until marriage. So that's very respectable of me as a man, regardless of what your dick size is and shit like that. It's very respectful of me as a man to wait till marriage. Now, what they're doing, they're not the same as me. They're untamed. They just like, fuck it, feelings and emotions, and they going off. And no one can stop it. Now, I went to the Najia market, right? I went to the Najia market, and that's when I kind of like, I got triggered. And that's where all of this energy started coming towards me. Because what happened was Mazali, they ended up staying in Uganda. They got a house in Uganda, and they staying in Uganda. Why? Because what happened to me, I'm noticing the connection of what happened to me in the Najia market. It's like Joe took Mazali and went to Uganda, and now they living in Uganda instead of America. So you took her away and then gone. But the women are looking at it like, the Korean women are looking at it like, you took my man away to a place called Uganda, and what the hell? And you bought a house and shit like that. But they did that for their safety and for their family safety, because so long as they're in California, I'm not saying they're not coming back or nothing like that, but they got a place there. Now, I guess in case things get too dangerous, they could move there and stay there. But whatever the case, I came out of the Najia market, which is here in Japantown on Sawtell Boulevard, and I drove off, and I'm at the stop sign. I stop at the stop sign. I don't see any cars, right? I don't see no cars. And then I pulls off to make the left turn. I pull off to make a left turn. This Japanese woman in the car, she's in a Tesla, Japanese woman in the Tesla, like she's straight full force, like trying to hit my ass. Like, what the fuck? And she looked dead in my eyes, like dead in my eyes. And I'm like, what the fuck was that stare down? And then the second woman, it was like, what the fuck? And so I just like, that was crazy. So I'm about to pull off again. The second woman, they don't stop at the stop sign. They riding through the stop sign. She's in a blue Tesla, and she looking at me dead in my face like, we not playing and shit. We about to hit your ass. Like, they want to hit it that bad. It's like, not that they not saying like they want to hit it or asking. They're like, we're gonna hit it. And it's not about the car or nothing like that. It's about sex, straight up just wanting my dick. And there's no questions asked. I'm sitting here, and it's all like Mazali and Joe. She's from Baltimore. She got their Korean man in Uganda with a house, and you sitting here alone and lonely and shit, and they sitting there alone and lonely with no man and shit. So they bitter as shit. So I guess they're willing to take care of me or pay me to be in a relationship with them, or just, I guess, willing to just take care of me. Now, I'm open to that. you know, because I know regardless how y'all thinking, I'm a good man, I'm a good husband anyway. But it's like, if you're talking about slavery or buying a servant, okay, I can do that too. But please respect me in the sense that I can't cross the line of adultery. Please respect me. Give me somebody that is not married. You know, but it's crazy, man. I see the threat. I see the danger. I see y'all trying to kill my ass if I don't give you no dick. I'm not thinking that. I've never been loved by a woman before. I've never been sought after by a woman before to a level to where she want to kill my ass if I don't give her no dick and shit. Like my dick. Like I don't never seen that before. Um, but yeah, man. So yeah, I'm gonna go watch this next video that Mazali and Joe have together, where they bought the house in Uganda, and see what's going on here. But yeah, it's a lot of anger, of extreme anger, with the Korean women, and looking at Mazali and Joe together with their family. It's a lot of anger and rage about these women, you know, and the fact that she's from Baltimore is why it's personal towards me and why they targeted me. But I guess it's not that I'm in trouble. That's not the issue. They're not angry at me because I'm a piece of shit or something like that. They're angry with me because I'm not willing to fight back. I'm not like angry enough. They mad at me because I'm not mad like them. Now my thing is, I don't know why they together or what made them come together. If they both came out of Baltimore, it could have been likely that they really cared about each other, you know, and they decided to work together. They could be a good team. So I'm not mad at that. Also, being a slave in America, we don't have power over our own women anyway. So that's why I could be a lot more blank about it than y'all, and y'all could be extremely angry, and you could like get back at me, mad at me because I'm not, trying to get even, and you know, just go crazy and burn hot as shit and just have sex and fuck the shit out y'all and get y'all pregnant and shit like that too. Now, like I said, regardless, people are individual people. We should not reward evil with evil if that's what you're thinking. But we don't know why they're together, so I can't say it's evil. What I can say is, if you're upset about that situation with them, okay, you want to take it out on me or you want to whatever the case, okay, you can. This is talk to me or whatever the case. But if you want to just straight up burn and shit, they don't look like they're burning. It look like they're in a nice, beautiful family. So if you want to get even, it would be that you would be in a nice, beautiful family too, you know, instead of just getting fucked and taking a bunch of dick and shit. It eliminates the purpose of you getting angry. Yeah, it eliminates the purpose of you getting angry. Um, yeah, man. I just wanted to be with Poe for real. It's like out of all the everybody getting angry and stuff like that, I just focused on one woman. Just give me one woman. I can marry her and be with her, you know? And then that way the men see honor and respect in that, asking for one thing. Like, this one woman belongs to you, right? But just give me her and let me marry her, and I'll be responsible and all that stuff for just her. Let us just be together, you know? So it's an honorable thing that the men can see, and the women could be like, also like, okay, well, yeah, all right, fine, so that none of my men could be thinking they can stop having sex with her, and they can stop being angry, or they can stop being jealous over Poe. All of these Japanese men having sex with her, or whatever they doing, if that's the case, all these Japanese men, that she's in their hands, it eliminates that. So it brings honor and respect to both peoples or whatever the case. So I think it's best to do it the way I say do it. Sacred marriage. I tell people sacred marriage only is the payment y'all always sleep on. Y'all so busy wanting to fight back each other, have sex with each other's people and shit just because somebody made you mad. Oh, my man, cheated on me. He got in a relationship with a brown woman. So now you, the woman, want to be having sex with all of these brown dicks and shit, and you ain't in no relationship. So it eliminate the purpose. It just showed you. Like you just like didn't give a fuck about relationship. Otherwise, if your heart was pure or you really did care about relationships and love and stuff, you would have just looked for somebody that was brown with a big dick to be in a relationship with, instead of just trying to have sex with anybody or whatever the case. But like I said, the heart burns how it burns. The anger in people can be untamed. Everybody's not the same. So it manifests in the different ways it manifests. So yeah, I got attacked and shit. I got the worms and shit in my neck and shit because the women they want to kill my ass. Asian women want to kill me, man. Because I'm not busting nuts inside of them and shit like that. I'm not sticking my dick down the back of their neck and shit. Like they want my dick down their throat, busting nuts. But I'm not doing that. So they just like trying to fuck me up and shit. That's crazy stuff. Um, but like I said, I'm in California, man. I understand. I see what's going on. If also for the safety of Mazali and her children, Asian woman or Korean woman comes one of I'll do it for that as well. I would say that's honorable because even in that, something could come out of it. But that would be a sacrifice, if you're doing it for that reason. It would be a sacrifice, but it can grow into something like love or something like that eventually. So y'all gotta let me know, man. Please stop fighting me. I had got a couple of Asian women that peeking in the car, like from the front of the, they was peeking at me, and stuff like that. But it's more like ready to pounce and shit. It's not even about killing me. It's not about killing me at all. It's like ready to pounce to like have sex and shit, And it's more like they don't want to hear no. It's like if you tell me no, I'm gonna fucking kill you and shit. And so the energy is the same energy, metaphysically as well, like spiritually connected. They're aggressive, like especially Filipinas. Grab your ass up, slam you down and shit, hold you the fuck down, and start trying to have sex with you and shit. That's the energy, you know. So you have people like the porn industry. It shows it blatantly how the women feel about all of this stuff, you know. The porn industry, like people like Nicole Doshi, and she's a Asian, and then you have other Asian women that are Japanese and things like that. They're starting to come into that mix, and meaning they're starting to give the fuck up. They're not caring anymore. It's more like I don't give a fuck. Just give me some big dick and shit. And they're not giving a fuck, and it hurts the men, and it breaks the connection and shit. Whereas though they still had a connection to their own people and shit, and just did that as a job, is more like fuck it, you know. The used Japanese women went from crying to I don't give a fuck, really moaning and shit. So it's like it's hard to explain and express all of this, but yeah, I am poor and homeless, but I'm not just gonna like let a woman buy me and shit just to buy me. It's rules, you know. Sacred marriage only is the payment. If you're looking for a proper payment to get somebody back or something like that, or the proper way to do it is sacred marriage. So make sure it's somebody that you can love or you can see yourself loving and connecting with. Just don't throw any Asian woman in front of my face, you know. So I feel like, so I feel like, Poe, man. I really like Poe, you know. But if you want me to be with a Japanese woman or Asian woman that's not mixed with brown or anything like that, or mixed with black or African, or not mixed with Hebrew or African, okay, well, I'll get. I mean, it's like that, you know. I can be like that, man. My one rule is like no adultery. That's my one rule. If you have a gay husband, I could see myself opening up to a line cross because that's too far. Like I can see myself opening up to that because you could have a gay husband or a gay boyfriend. Okay, I'll go in for that, you know. Um, but if it's like you have a faithful husband and he's not gay or nothing like that, you can't. I'm not willing to open up to that, you know. That would just be hard or whatever the case. You would have to find somebody that's willing to open up to that, but I'm not. So if you're a woman that's single, or a Asian woman that's single, or Asian woman that got a gay husband or something like that, or a gay boyfriend, all right, I won't mind, you know, pleasing you. I don't mind pleasing you. I don't. Um, but my desire is to be married, and this is the option. Like if you're talking about Asian, this is my option, Poe. But that's I don't know, man. It's a crazy world out here. But whatever. I'm on and on about that because y'all so spicy about it. Y'all so spicy. I'm on and on about it. And y'all started attacking me and shit, worming me and shit, worming me attack. The Latinas are the same way. These Latina women and shit, they the same energy and shit. Like they want something big. They want something big. Like damn, like give me that 8 inches and shit. You know. So it's like damn. But it's like I'm saying damn too, because I'm not that guy. I'm not the line cross guy. But I'm a poor man, so it's like, what do y'all want me to do? I'm asking that question. How do y'all want me to do this? How you want me to go about it? I understand that I can't walk away from this situation because Mazali is protecting her. But in the same process of protecting Mazali, you know, and my other sister that's in Japan, your men have my women in their hands and doing whatever they want with them, while you sit there have to be this obedient Asian woman and shit. You got to be extremely obedient to your men and shit, regardless if they got our women. Like fuck us and shit. Fuck black men. You know, we'll take your women and do what we want with them. But your woman is in California. We can just take our big ass dicks and fuck the shit out your woman when your man got a small ass dick. Like we could do the same thing. But my point is, let us stop being disrespectful to each other. Let us respect each other, honor each other, and each other's women. You see my woman, she's a brown woman and shit like that, curly hair. Don't be trying to own her and shit. Give her back to me if that's the case, you know? Let her choose if that's the case. Let's respect each other. But you like, nah, fuck that. She belong to me and shit. Or whatever the case. We gotta stop being brutes to each other, man. Because only thing that's gonna happen is we're gonna end up attacking each other. And America's gonna sit back and capitalize on that shit and then destroy, you know, they're gonna capitalize on it. We don't want that. You don't want that happening, man. You don't want that happening. And I can't speak for everybody. I'm only speaking for myself. And if you want to use me as the example, then okay, this is how I'm speaking. As far as everyone else, they're just emotional as shit, and you can't blame everybody, or you can't put everybody in the same bracket of being able to tame their emotions. You don't know why they doing what they doing like that. You don't know why these Asian women ran to black men and these big dicks like that. It could have been some extremely emotional stuff, and they could have cried night after night. You don't know. Like for example, like I said, Mazali and Joe. You know, the Korean man and Mazali, the Hebrew sister. You know, from Baltimore. It could have been some extreme pain seeing them together with this big family, and this woman could be struggling and shit, or whatever. She feel as though that's her man and shit. Why you with her? It could be all kind of shit because they from Baltimore. They come out of Baltimore and they come to California. So in California, they was extremely bitter. Like what the fuck? I'm like dang, in Baltimore it's a lot different in Baltimore. The relationship between Hebrews and Asians is a lot different in Baltimore. We don't have that disconnection like y'all do over here in California with brown people. There's no disconnection. You know, it's not a disrespect thing. It's a survival thing and a teamwork thing. Y'all looking at it like, you know, whatever the fuck, like some other shit y'all looking at like some enemy shit. No, it's only we do things carefully. If you see an Asian person with a brown person or a Hebrew person, it's all respect. and they're doing the work together. So you got to look beyond your emotions and shit. But some people can't, and so they burn. So that's how I almost got hit by two Asian women and shit. Like they is not stopping. They was not stopping at the stop sign. Like fuck that stop sign. I'm gonna hit it. Like it's crazy. Somebody got to pay for it type shit. But it's like now they start hating Baltimore people and shit. Like I got nothing to do with it. You want to hit me and shit. It's like I'm gonna hit it one way or another because I won't give them sex, or they think that I got something to do with it, or Baltimore men is like, I'm like how Joe was or some shit. Like, nah, I don't know what they thinking, but they almost tried to hit my ass. They ran that stop sign. They ran the shit out that stop sign. Twice, two of them ran the shit out the stop sign. Was not letting me go and shit. It's crazy. So what I'm realizing also now is that I can't leave the area that I'm in until I start having sex with Asian women and shit. But how the fuck? I'm a talker, yo. So I don't know how to do that. I don't know how. I don't know. That's crazy, yo. You subjected my life to some shit. Oh my god. So it's personal with me. So it's not like my story is the same as it's not my story is not like a California Hebrew person or a California black person story, because on the East Coast where I'm from is like Blasian City. Asians and black people together, we all mixed up and shit with Asians and stuff. So it's a different story. So damn, man. I mean, how y'all want to do it, man? So it's hard to discuss this, man, like selling myself and shit like that. But people say that, but if that's the case, I'm willing. I'll uh I'll let a Asian woman buy me. I'll let her buy me. I don't want to be with no. I don't want nothing cheap because my love is not cheap. Meaning, like you're talking about a man that really got real love in his heart, real love, real care, educated. You know, you got to know what kind of love you getting for real. Like I'm not a brute. I'm not a brutish man. I think, I reason, I'm understanding, I'm educated, and things like that. I'm a worker. I work and things like that. So, being with me is very special because I'm really gonna love you, and I really know how to love. Um, the thing about it could be is that I'm a biblical man, so that you got to factor that in. So I'm a rabbi, but I'm still a slave with my people. So I see my Hebrew brothers having sex with Asians on these cameras and shit like that. Y'all calling me to it. So I'm like, why is this being called? Why am I being called to this? Like that's what's happening here. Like it's either you die or you put your dick in these Asian women, and it's the Asian women saying that now. Like we not asking for shit. We not asking, but they giving me a chance to talk and express myself about it. But they not asking for shit. And I would say the main women that are aggressive are the Filipino women. But I would say, the woman with the most love and the most ability to care for me or whatever the case, knowing that I'm in a down position, a woman that have the better ability to lift me up and keep me pushing, and help me get on my feet, knowing that it's hard, it's hard out here for Hebrew slaves, because one minute we up, then we down, then the next minute we up, then we down. So it's a lot of up and downs with us because, and this Filipina P she's in Florida talking to these people about, the cost of a woman. She's not talking about the cost of a woman. Y'all need, it's like, yo, what the fuck? That shocked the shit out of me. You want to buy me and shit. You want to buy Hebrew men. So Filipina P is a Filipina. She mixed bread, but the Asian women that have money, they want to buy Hebrew men. They want to buy us for relationships and shit. Buy us for love. Like the roles have reversed so hard that a woman has enough money to buy a black man and take care of him and shit and give him a way better life where she live at than would he have in America and shit. A way better life. So that's what's happening as of right now. these Asian women are wanting to buy us. Some for sex work and some for relationships. Just want to like make us free and take care of us. I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to do that. Let a woman buy me, but it's like it got to be worth it. Otherwise, I'm just gonna sit here. Like, I don't want to be getting starved and shit. I don't want to be, if I'm gonna be loving you and really genuinely caring for you and doing husband duties for real, then I'm not gonna want to be with, I'm not gonna want to be, that's crazy. I never talked like this before. You know what I'm saying? Because I only took care of a woman before. Like my ex-wife, both my ex-wives I took care of. But now I'm in a position of somebody taking care of me and shit. It's hard. But because it kind of like it takes away from your manhood, but at the same time, it's a gay world out here, so I kind of can see it like a way of like being sheltered. I'm gonna shelter you. I'm gonna protect you like a mother in a way. I'm gonna protect you and shelter you. You know, and that's fine. But I'm giving my words, man. Whatever y'all gonna do, man, talk to me, please. Um, I would say don't lead me on. Like, don't lead me on. But it's not a matter that y'all trying to kill my ass over this thing. So I'm talking about it. But after I talk about it, like, what am I supposed to look for? How am I supposed to look out for? And that's what Filipina P was saying. Like, where do I meet? Where did you meet somebody for a first date? Where did you meet somebody? Like, how am I even supposed to, you know? Um, when it comes to Hebrew men, we're all over the place. Um, you just walk up to us, but you need a topic. So it's not necessarily the place that you meet us at. It's more so the topic. What is the topic that you have to spark the conversation? And the topic of conversation should open the man up instantly, and then you guide the conversation to the way you want to guide it at. Because black men specifically that are real still good men, the good straight men are homeless and poor and shit like that, like me. But we're not used to a woman wanting, we're not going to be used to that type of approach. So when you do say something, we're not going to expect it. But you have to guide the conversation into saying something like that. And then more than likely we will, if you put everything on the table, we will give you a decision. More than likely we'll say yes. We'll say, yes, I'm willing. I'm willing to go with you. Yes, I'm willing. But we will not open up unless you say something, man. Kind of you got to watch and monitor the Caucasian women, because they have ownership over Hebrew men like that are still slave minded and stuff. They have ownership over them. The others, they just kind of put into subjection. So they do things the passive way so that you wouldn't. I don't know. It's just hard to explain it to y'all. It's really hard to express this. But yeah, man, I'm right here, man. Please just don't give me to somebody that's poor, because I'm worth more than I'm worth. I'm really, really worth it. Like Joseph and Potiphar. Potiphar was rich, and his wife wanted to buy him, and so they did. And so, he was worth every penny. Everything that he did in the house, maintained the house. It was nothing lacking in his work. I have somebody that can also second me on that. A guy named Samak Tazawa Shaweli Thomas. Like, he's my brother, but he was my teacher also. And when he was letting me stay at his house while he was teaching me and I was going to school, I maintained the house. So I didn't slack. And my work and things like that. I wasn't a burden. Like, so a woman trying to buy me, an Asian woman trying to buy me, I'm not a burden at all. I cook, I clean. You can see all that. I cook, I clean, I this, that, and I can do all kinds of things and stuff like that. So I can take care of myself. Cook, clean, fold clothes, take care of children. I'm a good father. I'm not the guy to just lead a child to you and that's it. No, I'm fully involved in the child's life as well. I'm a teacher. I can teach, so I can teach children. ABCs, one, two, threes, this, that, and the third, blah, 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 blah. I'm a moral person, so I can teach the children morality. You know, I'm good at pleasing a woman, taking care of a woman, comforting a woman. I'm good at all of these different things. So I don't come cheap. I'm very, very worth it, you know. Uh, so yeah, man. You can buy me. Go ahead. I don't care. Buy me. But yeah, no, but just buy. You can buy me, man. Um, but I'm not submitted to being lonely or alone. I'm not. If that's what you're trying to do, just buy me and just leave me there. Some shit. I'm not willing to submit to that. If you're gonna buy me, then let me. I'm gonna be with you or something like that in a relationship for real. Intimacy, sex, marriage, family, all of that stuff. That's what I'm opening up to. Not opening up to you just buying me and I'm just sitting in your nation alone and shit. So like I seen like a couple other Japanese women like Naomi. I be watching her content on YouTube and stuff. She's alone and she just be alone all the time, but she be sitting there cooking, cleaning, keep her house extremely clean and stuff like that. You know, like I would let her buy me too. You know, so it's like the life that she has as far as like cleanliness and order. It's not hard for me. That's the type of person I am. You know, I mean, the Kardashians were supposed to buy me. I guess they were supposed to have me on the Kardashians, but I don't know, for some reason or one reason or another. I guess that's like, I don't know. It's looking. I don't know what's going on with that because I'm out of the loop. But Asian women, like that's why Filipina P came over here. She wants to buy me, you know. But I have a couple reasons why I'm skeptical of the Filipino people, and I don't know. I'll just be a little bit skeptical. But yeah, man, if you in California, you're looking for a black man, a Hebrew man, whatever you need, you're not married or nothing like that. I'm right here, man. Since that's what you're trying to do, you're not asking anyway. You about to kill my ass if I don't give you no dick. You know, I'm right here. Damn, that's crazy. Another reason I'm saying another reason I'm saying that too because I know the Torah. So I'm not. I just don't want to reveal that. Just trust me on it. Because I'm still a man at the end of the day. Even if a woman buys me, I'm still a man at the end of the day. So the process of how men protect and provide, or the moral, what I'm saying, all of that, the salvation work and the soul work and the spiritual aspects of how a man protects a woman and covers for a woman still is counted and still something to factor in. Even if a woman buys me, I can still flip that and be like, well, she belonged to me too now, type of shit. I can do that. But that's just fucking crazy, man. It's crazy, yo. It's hard for me to talk about. It's a hard position to be in because it's a general talk. Because if you an Asian woman came directly up to me and was like, I want to buy you and shit for something, the first question I'm gonna ask, first thing I'm gonna be is shocked, and then I'm gonna ask the one question: do you have a husband? And that's that. I'm not asking anything else after that. That's it. And however it goes from there is how it goes. Like, you just want sex, okay, fine. I'm gonna be the gigolo and shit. All right, fine. I'll be the gigolo and shit. As long as you don't got no husband. I'm not a home wrecker or some shit like that. So it's like the tables turned and shit. Like, I'm a male prostitute and shit now to Asian women that got men with small dicks, or Asian women that's alone and shit. They got money. They come over here to California. They got money and shit. They be doing agent work and shit. I don't mind, yo. I don't. You can buy my dick and shit. But if you're trying to buy me, I have a lot of skill sets under my belt. So I'm a very good man, a very valuable man. Um, but just know what my desire is. Someone like Poe, to be with someone like her, take care of her, love her, marry her, have a family with her. And she's learning English right now. She don't know English. She's now learning English, you know? And the reason because of that is because someone like me, you could have been with someone like me, but you don't know English. And it's like, damn, so now you're trying to learn English so you can be with someone like me because I don't have enough money. I didn't have enough money or Japanese yen to go to take Japanese courses. I didn't have enough money. I needed 2 million yen and I only had 1.5 million yen. So because of that 1.5 million yen, I didn't go to school. But then they offered me half classes, like you can pay for 6 months. I'm like, well, why y'all didn't say that at first and shit? Y'all only offered the full course and shit. Then once I didn't have any more money left, they said, oh, you can take it for 6 months. I'm like, what the fuck? I would have did that then. I wouldn't need to pay. I wouldn't need to save up 2 million yen. I could have just gave you the 1.5 million yen and did a 6 month course and learned enough Japanese so I can start going to work and shit. And then I can have a wife or some shit. I can learn, it was fucked me up. So now Poe was like mad at that shit. I was watering like, damn, I'm gonna learn English then and shit. Cause my husband, he could have been my husband and shit. He a good man and shit. So now I'm dwindled to a bunch of angry Asian women that's not asking. It's either you give me the dick or else, my nigga, you gonna die and shit. We gonna kill your ass if you don't give me no dick. And that's what it is. And that's hard to say and still a little bit hard to believe. But I've been seeing a lot of signs. I don't want to ignore the signs. I don't feel the signs, but I don't want to ignore the signs either. The main person the main person is giving me the sign is Filipina P. So I'm not gonna ignore the signs. I'm just gonna be like, I don't feel the signs. I don't feel what you're saying, but I see what you're saying. Like, okay, it's still I don't believe you, but I hear you. But until I see something or until I feel something, then until it actually happened, I'm not gonna feel it. But I be seeing it though. The Asians on the black. It look like these black men are like having sex with these Asian women because they have money. No, it's the women that got money, and they have sex with the black men that got big dicks and stuff. They're the ones buying the brown men because their husbands don't be as endowed. Now, like I said, that's not my issue. That to me, that doesn't matter. Whatever the case, there's just I'm a man. I stay away from that part of the situation. It does not involve me. I'll wait for the Most High to give me an answer about that situation specifically. All right. But to the other brothers, the militaries of the different nations and stuff like that, the strong men and things like that, the men, not the gay men. It's hard to see something like that, man. It fucks your heart spaces up. Trust me, I know. It happens to our women all the time. So much to where we disconnected from our women and we don't look at them as our women anymore. We just look at them as brown women like us. They're black like us, they brown like us, but we may connect, we may not connect. We just don't have that feeling of these are my women and I could just like tell her what to do we don't have that feeling anymore of having that power over our own women anymore. And we just deal with it. If a woman is willing to choose me, she'll choose me. If not, then she won't, and I keep it pushing. And the way it taught us to be free from stress, it could have emasculated us, but a lot of men learned not to be emasculated. But we've learned that women have choices, and so it forced us to respect their choice, and or it forces us to ignore their choices. Like, okay, you want to do you and shit. Just get the fuck away from me. So we end up becoming completely cut offish to them and write them off. Or we like try to work with them and shit. We give them the choice to follow us. So it serves for a better relationship. So that's what we learned in slavery. And it started off with the pain because your women do what you say, right? It started off with that extreme pain to not your women just don't listen to you anymore and shit. They doing what they want to do, regardless of what the fuck you feel. And then it's so aggressive that they start fighting back at the point of they start fighting back and shit. And so they end up having sex with these brown men with big dicks, and these brown men for protection and shit. Like they're having sex with them, and then these brown men are protecting them, and whatever the case. So it's like I bought you to have sex with you, and for you to protect me in case somebody try to hurt me for having sex with you and shit. So it's a lot of mess, man. And something like that only can be done in America, you know. So that's crazy, man. That's why I just don't be doing strange shit. I don't do I don't do painful shit to people at all, man. I'd rather stay alone and beat my dick than to hurt somebody or break somebody's family apart and shit like that. But unless the man's gay, you know, if the man's not gay, yeah, I can't do that. But if the man's gay, I won't give a fuck, man. But yeah. So that's to y'all, the men of the nations, of the Asian nations. This is what I ask for, man. My wife back. Give me a replacement wife. You know, that's another reason why the men are open to just not give a fuck as well. Another reason why the black men, all these black men with these big dicks and stuff like that, are having sex with these Asian women that are small and stuff in America and stuff like that, or even going to Japan and stuff, having sex with the Japanese women and stuff like that, that you don't want no more. Like, the reason why this is happening like that is, and the men don't give a fuck, is because they know that the Filipino people owe me a wife, you know, or it could be whoever, you know, because they're mixed bred with Japanese too. So it could have Japan could have a part to play in that as well. They could, but I don't know for sure. I just know that they gave me a wife. We made marriage vows to death do we part, for for through sickness and health, for better and for worse. You know, do you take him lawfully to be your husband, and do you take her lawfully to be your wife? And we said I do, and we made marriage vows together, and we signed signatures and have marriage certificates and stuff. So we got married, and then later when things start getting, through sickness and health, things start getting sick, for better and worse. Things start getting worse and things like that. So when things start getting worse, they're like, oh well, you can't take care of her no more. Things is getting worse. So they, forced a divorce. Rabbi Roberto Fortu came out of nowhere with a piece of paper, a piece of random ass piece of paper, and tried to say this is the divorce. That was disrespectful as shit. But he gave us that paper, she took it, and we burnt it and cooked food with it and shit. We burnt it and cooked food with it. And said, fuck that divorce. But she ended up leaving me anyway, because we ain't had no food. So, I'm bitter as shit. I was down for about 6 months crying every night. Like, why the fuck people keep doing this to me? You're giving me something and you taking it from me. You gave me a woman to love and I love her. And now you're taking her from me. You let me get used to embracing her and holding her, cuddling her, being intimate with her. And then you take her from me. You rip her out of my body and shit. That hurts like a motherfucker. And it's like, yo, keep hurting me and shit. Who keep doing this shit like I don't got feelings and shit. So yes, these brown men, they are my brothers. Like, they're black men like me or Hebrew men like me. Just for the sake of hurting me, they're doing that shit. That y'all still not listening to me. Like, yo, you owe me a wife. You disrespecting the shit out of me. So then you start seeing them having sex with your Asian women. Like, well, fuck it then. You ain't gonna give my good man. He a good ass man. You ain't gonna give him his wife back or replace his wife that you took from him. Fuck it. I'm taking this woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, this woman is like, you willing to? Yeah. Pay him off. Put his dick inside of her. And don't give a fuck. Your husband standing right next to you. Still don't give a fuck. And still have sex with you. Still put his dick in her mouth and shit. Because of what they did to me. You gonna have sex with my wife right next to me and shit. Or right near me and shit, up the street. Or whatever the case. You having sex with my wife and shit. We married and shit. Instead of, it's crazy. Just disrespecting the shit out of me is what was happening. And so they just doing the same thing. So that's why these brown men can do that without really caring too much. They can just loosely do that. And like, how can they just still do that? How can they sit there and disrespect, how can they do that? Because of the disrespect that came to one of their own people, one of their own men, and that was me. I wasn't a passport bro. You know, I was not a passport bro. I was only there to learn the Torah, and they put some woman on me that I didn't want, and I couldn't. She wouldn't take no for an answer. No matter how many times I said no, she would not stop asking me, and to the point where I realized they weren't asking me. They were demanding me to be with her, and so I did. So whatever. You just don't give a fuck. But at the same time, I was like, well, you owe my man a wife any fucking way. You don't give him, demand me to be with her and then take her from me and shit. You fucking me up. And then you fucked up my honor. You fucked up my virginity, my sacredness. I was a sacred person. I was reserved. I was sacred and reserved. I didn't bother anybody. I didn't have sex with anybody. I was a virgin. And you forced, you took my virginity by force by not letting me choose to stay a virgin. You forced that woman on me. So yes, that's what you're seeing. Them acting out the recompense of what y'all did to me and shit. The Filipinos did to me. Not giving a fuck. Oh, I'm such a man and shit. These are my women so fucking hard. Why the fuck you even give me one of them? If you're gonna be that aggressive to not give me a replacement wife and shit, why would do that to me? And why do that to her? So now it's personal with them and shit. Mazali from Baltimore, she's with a Korean man, and so now it put me back in that position by force. Now I gotta have sex with these Asian women. It's either that or die, but I'm asking for marriage, so hopefully they'll listen to that. If not, then okay, fine. As long as I'm not alone and I'm not poor and shit like that, I'll give myself to you. I'm very valuable, so I'm worth it. Um, but yeah, I love you, Poe. I do. Yeah. So I'm doing it for Mazali, and that's my final. That's what I'll leave with. I'm doing it for the sake of Mazali and her children, so nothing happens to her, her children, or Joe. All right, to protect her and her family, because she's from Baltimore. I'm from Baltimore. All right.